What's going on, everybody? And today we are back at it again with another video. And today's video, guys, we are back at it again with another how-to or car basics video, and we are going to be rotating our tires. So let's get into the video. So alam ko, guys, we are not in the typical shop na ginagawa ko ng videos na to, and that is because I want to show you guys that you can do this at home with just common hand tools, and you know, hindi mo kailangan ng hoist or anything like that, anything fancy. So a lot of people don't know this, guys, but your car actually comes with a jack, and typically this jack is used for raising your vehicle in case of an emergency pag kailangan mo palitan yung spare tire. And then again, guys, I just want to say na hindi lahat ng vehicles na you're gonna buy, mostly modern cars nowadays, doesn't come with a spare. Just keep that in mind. But in this case, in this particular scenario, we do have a spare tire in here, and we have the necessary tools to do the job. So first things first, we get this is to wind up your jack, and underneath this plastic is going to be your jack, and you will find your spare tire. So let me just run you guys through kung ano yung laman ng spare tire compartment nyo. Usually it will have your jack, of course. This is jack. This is what we're gonna need for this job. And then we also have this. This is specifically for your vehicle. So my car is a 19 mil lug, has 19 mil lug nuts. So this is going to be 19 millimeter. Supposedly it's to break your lug nuts free. So you have that in your spare compartment. Well, additional goodies, it has a Phillips screwdriver right here, and you have your tow hook that attaches to your vehicle. So after that's all said and done, guys, at the end of this video you will learn how to rotate your tires, and you know, I can show you guys how to put on your spare as well in case of an emergency. Everything that we need for this project or job, guys, we need the jack, of course, that came from the back of the car, as you guys saw. We are going to need this wheel lock key. If you guys have a wheel lug nut on your tires, you're going to need this as well. Itong breaker bar that comes with your car, specifically for your car, you need that. That came from the back as well. This is the winder. I'll show you guys how to use this. This is for this jack. We got jack stands, and like I said, I took out the spare so I can show you guys how to put on a spare. So let's get it. Now I will say, guys, that you do need a few things before you get started with this project. Before you even loosen up your lug nuts and stuff and your wheels, make sure that your handbrake is on and your car is not going anywhere. You want to do this when you're doing a spare tire or whatever, and put it in gear or put it in park. I have it in my first gear. And then chalk off the wheels if you can. That ensures the vehicle will not go anywhere when you're trying to take the wheel off or anything. It's the last thing before we loosen up the tires is that make sure that the vehicle is in or on a relatively flat surface, guys. That's really important. So the first thing that we gotta do, guys, is of course loosening up these lug nuts free before we lift up the vehicle. Because kung i-lift up mo na yung vehicle right now without breaking this free, yung gulong na to is just going to spin, and we don't want that. So now that the lug nuts are loose and the wheels are loose and ready to come off, pwede na natin siyang i-jack up, and I'll show you guys how the jack that comes with your car, or your mechanism of your jack, works. So this is the jack that comes with your car. It's gonna look similarly to this. It might be a little bit different. I've seen one that's just kind of like an L shape, and it doesn't really have this diamond shaped, but it's very simple. The idea is this is the knob that you twist that makes it go up as you wind it up. So if you're going to the right, pataas siya, as you guys can see. It's a more steeper. If you're finished doing your work and stuff, you just go to the left, opposite way. Just keep doing this, and you can see how it's flattening out. You guys can see that. So that's basically how this works. So what you do with this tool that you also get from the back of your trunk is you hook this up here, and then you just wind this up. And I'll show you guys how to do that. It's pretty cool, it's pretty simple, but let's get this underneath the car, get it underneath jack stands, and let's get it. I have it on that pinch weld right there, guys. So I can show you a diagram right now of what it looks like on your owner's manual. So if you're unsure where to jack your car up from, consult your owner's manual. This is the ideal spot where you want it. You can see how there's a talagang obvious siya kung saan nyo siya dapat i-jack, because there's plastic around it and then there's metal. That metal is where you jack your car up from. So there we go, guys. We have the vehicle safely jacked up and supported on jack stands. And as you can see, I left the jack resting on the vehicle, and that's because, you know, extra support will not hurt, diba? You better be safe than sorry, you know. So I put this, at least tatlo silang nakasupport din sa vehicle na yan. And what a good practice to do, like I said before in the oil change video, is to shake the car nice and hard, making sure na hindi siya matatanggal sa jack stands, because might as well fall now. If it's going to fall, at least it has wheels on and hindi siya ganun kataas or anything. So ngayon makikita nyo yung importance kung bakit natin siya binrake loose while it's on the ground. Because if you attempt to break this loose while it's off the ground, mga kaibigan, it's just going to spin. It's just gonna keep doing that to you. So it's easier to just do it on the ground, loosen it up, and once it's up, you can basically just do this and take it off the rest of the way. So as you guys can see, natanggal na natin yung gulong. There's the wheel right there, at na rin yung wheel right there. It's already rotated, which means yung nasa harap is already at the back and vice versa. So you guys might be wondering why you have to do this and why is this part of your regular maintenance pagdating sa sasakyan nyo. I'll explain to you guys right now. So one of the main things kaya niro-rotate ang tires when it comes to your vehicle is, number one reason is tread depth, and that's probably the only reason I can think of right now. Your tires will wear out differently, especially kung meron kang specific drive wheels. That being said, if your car is front wheel drive, it's just obvious na it's gonna use up more threads, like it's gonna wear out more threads pag nasa harap na gulong, because it's a front wheel drive. And that's the same with your rear wheel drive vehicles, na yung rear yung nagdadrive ng vehicle. So usually what I personally like to do, and this is what I've been taught sa shop namin, is we put the best tires on your drive wheels. So that being said, kung mas maganda yung thread mo sa harap and your car is a rear wheel drive, we put your best tires in the rears, because those are your drive wheels. So that means you get more traction pagka you're driving, right? In my case, I drive a Subaru, and as we know, ang Subarus, they have all-wheel drive, and essentially pagka all-wheel drive ang vehicle mo, sometimes they just wear out evenly for the tires, and you just want to do this because sometimes yung front tires mo naman is nagka-cup siya. So ibig sabihin, when you're turning the wheels, ang wear ng tires mo is going to be on the sides here when you're turning the wheel. So pag niro-rotate mo siya, yung cupping na yon nilalagay mo siya sa likod, so it wears out a little bit evenly. And while we have this tire off, might as well cover with you guys yung basics ng mga nakasulat dito sa gulong nyo. Ano nga naman ba itong mga naka-engrave sa gulong nyo? And I will explain that to you guys. So starting off dito sa first engraving dito sa gulong, which is just the make and the model of the tires. Nothing too special about that, guys. And then as you move along, This is made in Japan, so syempre papakita sa inyo kung saan made yung gulong na yan. And then we get to this. This is probably the most important part of your tires because this gives you a lot of information. So 245/40 are 18s and then 97 Ws. So let's start from the 245s. What is the 245? 245 actually, guys, is the width of your tire. So it's measured in millimeters. So this means it's 245 millimeters from here to the other side. So yung /40s naman, guys, moving to the /40s, the 40 means kung gaano siya kataas. This is how high it is from the rim. So yung 40s na yan, kung mataas yan, kung sabihin natin 50, it's going to be taller. If we say it's 35, it's going to be thinner. Our 18s basically means it's mounted on an 18-inch rim. And then 97W, guys, this means it's the speed rating of the vehicle. So speed rating, ibig sabihin nun is how fast o kung gaano kabilis yung kayang i-handle nitong gulong na to. And I'll show you guys a chart right now on the screen kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga speed rating ng mga vehicles and stuff. So that's kind of cool. And moving along to this symbol right here, this engraving. I do apologize, guys, pag pasensya nyo itong curb dash na to, no? If you guys haven't watched the video already, I will link it in the description. But this is actually God trying to tell me to become humble again and stuff like that when I got this car. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. But then again, I just want to point out this outside etching right here on your tire. Make sure, guys, when you're rotating your tires, you pay attention kung tama ba yung mounting ng tires nyo. Minsan kasi may arrows yan. In this case, in my particular tire, it's not directional. Pero pag directional yung tires nyo, there's gonna be an arrow to where it points. Okay, and that's crucial because you don't want your tires to be pointing the wrong way and you're driving on it because the wear pattern dun sa vehicle mo or the tires is going to be wrong. Tas mag-wear out siya more quickly. So if you see an arrow, say it's going to the left, it's a left-hand tire. You should put it on the left-hand side. Huwag mo siya lalagay sa right-hand side because it's gonna wear out different because it's gonna face the wrong way. So in this case, hindi siya directional, pero it says outside, and you have to pay attention to that. You know, well, sometimes that's more for your mechanic side na, guys, because if they mount your thing inside out, I don't think you can do anything about that. You have to take it to them and then they have to flip it, mount it again, balance it again, and you're good to go. Tapos babalik lang tayo dito. There's the small little letterings here, guys, and that basically tells you how much load or how much, you know, weight your tires can carry. Tapos here, sasabihin nito max pressure. It basically tells you that you can pump this tire up all the way up to 50. So you never want to max out your tires, guys, your tire pressure on the tires, you know, because that's just overinflating it. One of the things, like I said, consult your owner's manual what your tires needs to be at. Or kung ayaw yung buksan yung manual nyo, there's always a sticker right on the door jamb of your vehicle. Dun sa driver's side, there's a sticker which tells you how much pressure you need to put in them. So now that I explained to you guys what's the importance of rotating your tires and, you know, kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga markings dun sa tires nyo, because sometimes you guys wonder what those are about, you know, siguro hindi nyo alam or you were interested in knowing what it is, and that's basically what it means. So right now, I'm going to show you guys how to put your spare tire on. And I know it's going to be self-explanatory because at tanggal mo na yung gulong mo, of course, you just put the spare on. But there's a few things that you guys should note, and let's go over that right now. Alright, so if you're in a case na in an emergency, may flat tire ka, you want to put on your spare, a few things that you guys should know is that calipers in the front of your vehicles is usually a bigger caliper than the ones in the rear, and I'll show you guys a comparison right now. And the reason for that is most of the braking happens in the front. If you guys don't know that, most of the braking happens in the front. That's why when your vehicle, when you're hard pressing the brakes, it goes in a dive. So that being said, you can't just throw on your spare tire onto this front without knowing or consulting your owner's manual, and here's why. Like I said, the caliper is going to be significantly bigger than the rears, so that means your small space saver spare tire sometimes is going to hit your caliper and it's going to damage your caliper, and nobody wants that. So you want to make sure na pwedeng ilagay itong spare tire directly on your front tires. If that's not the case, what you can do is you have to put your spare onto the rears, because the rears have a smaller caliper on the rears, and then you have to put the rear tires on the fronts. So yun yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo guys, because sometimes, you know, you can't just put on your spare tire without knowing the exact way of putting it on. And you know, if you consulted your manual, if you're good to go, if you're ready to go, you know, just put on your spare tires. As simple as that, and I'll show you guys right now how to do it. This is pretty much self-explanatory. It goes the same way for your spare tire. And so what you want to do is, of course, you want to line up the lugs with your holes, right? So trying to be careful, you know, not to hurt yourself, and trying to not scratch your vehicle as well in the process. I like to put it on 3 threads of the way before I try to like use a tool on it, para lang ma-ensure ko na hindi siya magko-cross thread. So after starting your lug nuts like 3 or 4 threads, you take your tool now and you can tighten them up. I do want to say that when you're tightening up your lug nuts, make sure that you're going on a star pattern. So you go here, then here, then here, then here, then here. So there you go. This wheel is now hand tight with that tool. So say, because we are going to torque this wheel, we have a torque wrench. So we're going to torque this wheels. Syempre pag gumagawa ka ng rotation, you have to torque your wheels. I recommend you guys to torque your wheels because that ensures na it's not gonna fall off. You're not going too tight or you're not going too loose. So before we put the back wheels on, I know people are going to ask, do you put anything on the threads themselves? The studs, do you put anything on it? No, I do not. I don't put anti-seize on it. I don't put Loctite on it for sure. And the reason being is, if you start putting those things on your studs, you're not going to get an accurate reading when it comes to your torque. At syempre hindi mo siya lalagyan ng Loctite, because if you put Loctite on there, it's going to be a pain to take them off. So I don't put anything on it. A good torque, an accurate torque is, you know, perfectly enough to make sure that your wheels are not going to come off. So there you guys have it. Nakabit na natin yung gulong. All 4, of course, self-explanatory on the other side. I've done it. So you can now for sure do your own tire rotation. My hands are dirty, excuse me. You know, pretty soon guys, baka mawalan ako ng trabaho dahil alam yun yung ginagawa nyo. It's just one of those things guys that you can do at home and stuff. And you know, if you're a first time car owner or vehicle owner, you know, it's a good thing to know and a good knowledge, para at least diba, maliliit na bagay, maliliit na maintenance, kaya mong gawin sa bahay, so you can save a little bit of money, diba? It's not hard. As you can see, pinalitan ko siya using the tools that came in the trunk of the vehicle, and the only thing that we needed was jack stands and a torque wrench. So there you guys have it. Dito na nagtatapos ang another car basics natin. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot from this video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and share this video to everyone that you know. Hopefully you guys have a blessed day, and you remember to keep praying. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace.